So I'm arriving now at the killing fields. And I've been to these places of human massacre before, and they're always a kind of a subdued place. This one, by far, out of all of the ones I've been to or where this type of event has taken place, was the most somber. So one of the things that I found surprising when I was putting this video together was that I didn't have a lot of photos. And I didn't really take a lot of photos. It's funny how that turned out. But let me give you a little bit of background. When you arrive, they hand you a set of headphones designed for your language, and then they just let you go and you wander around. That being said, the place is a lot like a park. It's little paths, little trails, plenty of benches to sit down. There's lots of trees, and there's lots of numbers. And whenever you come across a number, you punch it into the headset, and then it tells you a story about that spot. So what I did find was, as I wandered around and I punched in the numbers and I listened to what was being said about certain locations within this area, I sat down and I reflected on what I was taking in. And so you're not going to see a lot of video. There's a little bit. And then I'll have a few more comments further on as I get to one particular spot that had the greatest effect on me. And not just me, but everyone. Throughout this area, you could hear people, quietly talking and reflecting, especially if they were in small groups. But when we got to that one area, nobody was talking, and you'll figure that out shortly. So we're at the Killing Fields Monument, kind of a somber place. I just listened to a video where this is one of many that they had, and you can see inside here. The skulls are just stacked all the way up. One of the interesting things that I am hanging on to when I was listening to this audio is that 1 in 4 people in this country were taken out by this regime. Your own people. All inspired by a madman. What can you do but reflect on the madness of it all? Really, you bear witness to it. And this is just a drop of what happened here. So this was the area that nobody said anything. And you see that tree in the background where people from all over the world have left bracelets. One of the things that really stood out in the recording was that when the Khmer Rouge were toppled and they got to this site and to that tree, it was loaded with brain fragments, and there was eyewitness reports later that they did this in front of their mothers before the mothers were killed. So like I said, I didn't take a lot of photos, but throughout the area, you would move around, you'd see a number, you'd sit down, listen to what was said. I think the other thing that really stands out is that when you're listening to some of these things, they point out that even though this is a park-like setting, bones are continually popping out of the ground, and just leave them. They come by on a monthly basis and pick up the other ones, and they're all put away. So that concludes a little bit about this place. There's so much more that could be said. I just didn't want to make a documentary. So, as proof that life moves on, here's a few chickens wandering around, grabbing bugs and doing what they do. And then I came across this spirit house, and I'm a big softie for these things, but this was probably one of the most gorgeous ones I ever saw, and it seemed like a fitting place to put something outrageously pretty in here. So I just took some video of it just to, say, look, the world goes on.